Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the wild landscapes of Scotland. And today we're on the South Deeside road and we've come to this abandoned old quarry here for a look because there's some cool old buildings. I was here years ago on a video, but it was before I got the decent camera and that. So we're back today to explore some more, and today we're joined by the channel DJ. And we're away to see what history remains of these old buildings and stuff here. There is a busy main road behind us here, and that's like because Balmoral Castle, famous home to the royal family here in Great Britain. Balmoral Castle, it's just literally like 3 or 4 mile long road there. And there's like a lot of tourists and stuff around the gates of that like estate. And yeah, quite often you used to see the Queen and the royal family members walking around this area, driving around I should say. But famously Queen Victoria used to spend a lot of time up in this area of Scotland. There's a lot of little fountains and buildings and stuff that she built back in the day. But today folks, we've come to look at this, which is a crazy quarry, and it's a massive hole in the ground here with some old buildings and stuff beside it. So yeah, we're going to take it all in. This is what a Scottish quarry looks like folks. There is signs, beware deep water, and like literally some of these quarries can be hundreds and hundreds of feet deep. Yeah, check this out folks, what an adventure. It is often crazy coming to a place like this, just thinking of what might have been here, because it looks like there's been more buildings at one time and they've all been demolished. There's some massive chunks of cement. Look at this, see, there's been a tree like growing out of this wall. Look at that for abandoned history folks. It shows how long this was like disused here. Wow, what's this been? Look at the roof, it's starting to sag in. Some old metal tin there. See, another interesting thing, there's like a metal pipe there with a rubber fitting. It's almost like there's been some sort of machinery in this shed here at one time. Look, you can see the remains here where there's been like doors and stuff mounted on. See, sometimes with like old quarries and stuff like this, the machinery and that was left at the bottom of the hole, and then over the years the water just filled it up. So sometimes a lot of the old machinery and equipment can be left. Yeah, look at this folks, this has been a generator shed here. Normally when you see a plinth like this, that's where the generator was like mounted on the top of. Oh, what a spot folks. It's made with the granite, which you find a lot in the Aberdeenshire area and around this Deeside area of Scotland. Look, you can see how they've split it there. They've drilled into it and then maybe chopped something in, roughly split the stone. Because this was an industrial building, it didn't have to be finished to the standards that you would see on like a house or whatever like that. Look, there's been brackets, maybe for a diesel tank or something up on the wall. And then there's an unusual hole in the floor there. But yeah, this is a massive plinth here. What a scene. There's like some different bricks. There's been repairs and stuff done in here at one time. But yeah, you can tell from the size of the tree, it's been abandoned for years. And I remember, must be like 2 or 3 years ago now, I came round here for a walk, but like it's changed even since then. There is a current like phone mast here on this old site. Oh wow, what's this been here folks? Look at this. See, there could have been maybe like a bit of a stone crushing facility or something at this site. Look, all the walls here have got massive mounts, which must have been for attaching equipment on. Maybe old quarry machines or quarry apparatus. And all the doors seem to have had the frames painted with old red paint. A lot of companies and stuff back at that time all had their own colour, and all the doors on their premises would be like the same. Look, you can see it's like a proper bit of granite and they've had stuff mounted on it. I'm not even sure what all they've had, but the history here could date back loads of years, like early 1900s they were probably quarrying this hole here. Look, there's been something massive on there. Yeah, I'm not sure if people's been camping here either. I get that feeling because it's been like a fire or whatever in the other shed, and There's a lot of graffiti and stuff around here. Look at that, the old light fitting has been up on there. It's so cool to see that, folks. And then look at this, it's like an old furnace or a boiler. I wonder if they were like getting the stone and then getting some sort of ore out of it here. That's almost what that looks like. Look at the chimney up there at the back. I can actually feel the breeze coming down it. And look, this bit here folds down. The hinges are totally ruined now, but that's like an extendable hood that would come down this far. And then they would have scooped the ash out the bottom. It's like a little miniature furnace. And then look, there's been something else down here. Oh look, maybe once they've been putting their metal or whatever, stuff would have come out here. Kind of if they put the stone in the furnace to extract their ore. Maybe it ran out here and it melted for them. I'm just theorising, folks, often with a spot like this, just gauging the history, and it's often interesting what you find. It's just random nuggets. Crazy. But yeah, we'll get a couple of pictures in this room before we head on. We'll go and take a look at the massive hole where they were extracting the stone. Look, there's old tins and stuff here for like 1970s. So there we go, folks. I was just getting some photographs of the history around here, and I was noticing there is bits of machines and stuff lying here. Little bits of equipment and little pieces of history from a time gone by. Gaskets for what looks like an old engine even. Maybe machines and that were running on this site. Parts that was discarded from them over the years. Yeah, just check out the character of those old buildings. It's like this has been a later addition, maybe a new engine shed built on the end once that one was no longer in use. This is crazy, folks. We'll go and take a look at this massive man-made hole in the land here where they were extracting the stone. And then it looks to me like at some point they've been putting it, maybe to even get samples, they've been putting it in that little furnace there. And it's like they've been extracting some sort of the ore which has been coming out that hole in the side. Wow, look at the colour of this water, folks. There's bits of foam and stuff like floating about, bits of polystyrene. Quarries are extremely dangerous, folks, so if anybody comes to places like this, they should never mess about. Because you hear every year about folk getting killed at quarries because they go and try and swim about and the water's always known to be freezing. The water's crystal clear, eh? It's just so deep. And look, there's actual parts of a building here. So I think there's been more buildings on this site. Because if you think about it, the folk that was working here would have needed kind of buildings for their day's work. See at the far end, look, it's like there's bits of a building down there. This is crazy, folks. Like, just think how deep that potentially is. Yeah, it's insane. I can see old wheels and stuff. There's a lot of scrap and stuff being dumped in there, I think, over the years. Look, there's even bits of like an old sink here. Look at that. That's been an old sink or something from this site. Maybe even some of this stuff came out of that shed over there, but it looks like it's been a different structure. Look, there's another bit of a broken sink type of thing there. It's maybe not been a sink, but a lot of stuff was made of that back in those days. Wow, I can't even believe the shape of the land here. Yeah, this has all just been quarried out and probably blasted out. Yeah, this is crazy, folks. We're right down at the edge of the water now. Channel DJ is demonstrating how deep it is by throwing in those rocks. Super deep. Wow, I can actually see there's more. This is like a rock shelf here, but there's another one down there and it keeps on getting deeper and deeper. There's been all this stuff dumped. There's like fridges and stuff floating about on it. The wind must just blow all that sort of stuff about. Car wheels. Wow. Look, there's a scabbard off a Husqvarna chainsaw. Wow, this is insane, folks. It would be cool to go and take a look at the bottom of there, I think. At the far end, because it looks like there's some more random items lying about. Yeah, it's insane. It's like a wall, but it's just naturally been dug out, probably in big blocks, and then extracted from the site. But they must have had a way of getting down and up from the bottom of the hole with the equipment and the stone which they were digging out. But it's an interesting, the way that slopes down at the back, it is interesting. Crazy, it's like granite almost. I was trying to gauge what type of rock it was, but it seems to be granite that they were mining here. Maybe even those buildings that we just looked at were built from the stone mined at this site here, folks. Anyway, let's head round. The adventure is real, folks. It's crazy. I love going to environments like this and just taking in new things. You always see something new. And it blows me away when you find like abandoned history for a time gone by, like it's just forgotten in this wilderness. See a building like that, folks, it's got so much abandoned character. The character of the decay. That's how when we drove past this site we had to stop for a better look. The water's so clear but so deep. Look, here's evidence where they would have been potentially drilling into the stone to put in their dynamite or whatever they used to blast it. And then they would blast it out and it would come off in big chunks. Or if they weren't using dynamite, there was definitely some sort of technique they had there for splitting the rock. Maybe even just chopping in wedges at times. The rock there, it looks similar as it goes under the water and then it just goes into the darkness. That's the thing with this channel, folks, you never know what you're going to get. We'll go from in bunkers to an alpine quarry. It's all abandoned history from a different time and a different era, but it's all got its own kind of interesting like adventure within it. Kind of when you're exploring something like this, the landscape it's like something for a foreign country. But yeah, here it is, Scotland, folks. Look at this, folks, look at the size of this massive steel rope that's here. Could be an old power cable, because look, there's a power like pylon thing there. See, look, this is weird here. It looks like it is stone, but look, there's something sticking up. Wow, this is how I always wanted to come back and explore this place, folks. Look, this must have been the way that like pedestrians and that was coming down to the quarry. Look, there's been railings down there. And look, I can see there's more under the water, they disappear away down. But ken something which is scary? That is just a straight drop at the edge of that down. Oh, there's loads of tadpoles here. Wow, folks, I don't know how well this is going to come out on the camera, but under the water there, there's just tadpoles everywhere. Oh, they're on that bottle now, look at that. Wildlife once again, folks. There's just fridges and stuff all the way around. A lot of the time with locations like this, locals over the years would just dump trailer loads of stuff in, out of sight. Maybe stuff like that ends up floating to the surface. See, because this has been maybe an original path, like this bit here has been built, but I think it's been like that right down there and it's fallen away. Because we're talking mid-1900s or older, I think, for all this. Especially when like those poles and that were put in the rock. People were walking down here. This is ancient history, this. And it is cool to document it, folks. Listen to this, folks. There's loads of motorbikes. This road's is popular for the motorbikes and they go flaying down. Epic. It's like Isle of Man TT or something around here. Yeah, look, this edge could be crumbly. We have to be careful. There's just crazy chunks of like wood just floating about. Plant pots and stuff like that. Yeah, there's just motorbike after motorbike going down there. Crazy scenes, folks. And I'm wanting to have a look at this, the history, which looks like it might have washed up on this shore. This has maybe been the easiest end for them tipping in their trailer. Look, there's some big rail under the water there. Think how deep that must be, man. I can't even describe it. It probably doesn't come out in the camera. Like, literally that just drops into the darkness. There's sticks sticking up from the darkness too there. Oh look, see along the edge of the stone, you can see where they've drilled in, look, with hundreds of little drilling holes, and then they must have blasted it off. It's just straight drop in front of that. It would be good to get a close-up shot of a rock like that, because it's like it's been chewed by some sort of shark. That's the way it makes the rocks look. Check this out, folks. We're at the far end of the dam now, where we were earlier, and you can just see crazy items in here. Wow, the water's deep, just right near the edge even. It is crazy. This is why I was seeing for the far end. It looks like more fridge freezers and stuff.
That's how the stone down there's where we got it.
Oh, aye. It's been chipped off, drilled. Look at this, folks. I've found a little way down to this. It's almost like a beach at the end of the quarry. But see with stuff like this, it can go down and it looks like a shallow gradient, and then boom, you would just be like 200-foot drop right there. But the water gives the illusion that it's not that deep. This is crazy, these stones. Look, there's tadpoles everywhere. There's like an old capacitor or something under the water there. And there's an old like fuel tank. A metal tank of some sort. Everything under the water here is just covered with tadpoles just now. Yeah, that's like old metal fuel tanks or something like that. See, I think there could be machines or even cars that's been thrown in there over the years. Yeah, if you had an underwater drone here, folks, it'd be so cool. Or even if you were like diving, you could go and dive a bit here. See, the thing with quarries, they're dangerous though to swim in, because you can be swimming about and get tangled up and stuff like this, and a lot of folk do meet their ends that way, like. But I can see with these rocks, even way up there, they've been drilling into them, and they must have put a blast charge in and then blasted off the big rocks. But wow, it is cool. It blows me away seeing different landscapes and different historical wonders. This is completely man-made, what we see here. It's the depth of it and everything that blows me away. I've just realised I need to get a photograph of this stuff here, because it looks epic up that way. Hear this, folks. There's some crazy vehicles going past, folks. What did you say, Channel DJ?
7 or 8 Lamborghinis.
Oh, it was 7 or 8 Lamborghinis, folks, and I can hear another one coming.
There's something coming.
There's another beast coming. It sounds like a V10.
Lamborghini Urus, or whatever you want to call it.
Crazy scenes at the quarry, folks. We're here recording abandoned history and crazy wonders, and then the sound of the sky like thunder lit up with the sound of a Lamborghini. Even the tadpoles were swimming for cover. See, it's like they might still bring in a stone crusher to this site, because this looks the most fresh, and it looks like they've been using these stones here to make this. I think I'd be able to climb onto the top of that. Yeah, folks, there's fish in the water of this quarry, and we were just saying, like, how do the fish get in there originally? Because they're obviously not near any rivers or the sea or anything like that, but here they are, there's fish in there literally, because we just witnessed one. So yeah, that's a crazy question there for any scientists or people that know about that sort of thing. There's fish literally in there, and how did they get in there? There we go, folks, we've just gone for it. Full send onto the top of this big gravel heap. And what a cool adventure it's been to come here and explore the quarry. Here, do you think we should have a look over the brow of that hill and see if there's another big hole before we end this video? I was going to come up here and end the video, folks, but then I realised there's like a hill there and it'd be cool maybe to have a look over there. Look at this, folks, the old fungus on the tree here. Seems to be old birch trees that I think it's called bracket fungus, lives on those trees. Oh yeah, this must be where it is, literally. I don't think there's anything else over here. They must have realised that they had a massive granite bedrock seam there. See, there is a path where I parked. Kind of goes up there somewhere. So maybe we should just do head straight up there and make the path. Let's do it, folks. We're always spontaneous adventurers, and that's how we end up in the middle of places like this. Wow, we've just found some history here, folks. This is a crazy, live on the video, a crazy little building it looks like down here. What? This is it, like, folk wonder how we find some of the abandoned history that we find, and it's like literally we're just out and about exploring and we've just went and found another one. Could even be a door to like a mine or something, imagine that. Crazy. The land is quite boggy here. They've obviously had a good seam there though that they've been digging down into. Look at this, folks. This is the sort of history that we love to bring you here on the channel. It's like a little stone hut built here at the front of this, and I'm not sure if they were using water or something in there. This could be a little watershed of some sort. Wow, there's some deep hole there. It looks gooey and sludgy. Yeah, this must have been related to the quarry. What has it been, folks? Let's have a look. Oh, part of the original door is there. Yeah, this is a strange little room, folks. A little building, it's got a cement roof. This must be the original door, and look, it's built, the back wall is actually the stone of the hill. From a distance, this looked like some crazy little gateway into the underground. Oh, aye, look, it's got vents, folks. Doesn't look the strongest anymore, though. A lot of this stuff I'm standing on appears to be what would have been the walls. And do you think this would be a toilet then, maybe?
Thinking that, like a shitter.
Yeah, and then it maybe flowed away with a pipe into that kind of bogland there. So it shows there could be more little buildings. There could be more little buildings hidden around here. Yeah, what is this, folks? Check it out. Look at the end of this spear looking thing. This is crazy, folks. We're literally right in the heart of abandoned history once again, and this bit of metal, it goes right into the ground under my feet here. It's obviously been meant to hold something down at one time, or...
Almost looks like it used to be like the top of a fence where the barbed wire goes.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
Aye, that might have been part of like a defence around this area. When it was a working quarry.
It looks like you're waiting for someone to go to the toilet.
It's like this bit could have been dug out though to get the sewage to flow away from a little building like this.
That's what that toilet
It is crazy though, folks. What else is hidden within this forest? The question is raised. So I've come up to the top of this hill, folks, at the back of the quarry area, and I was just analysing the land to see if there's any history that we've missed. I've come to the highest bit on the land, and there is a crazy bit of history that the channel DJ's noticed down there, which is cool. We'll go and have a look at it. It seems to be like some sort of mount for, I don't know if it was, oh, there could have been maybe winches for lifting the stone out. It looks like some big metal eyelet mounted on top of stones. And it is crazy, but yeah, up this hill I came for a proper look, just to see if there was anything interesting. I don't see anything, folks. There's crazy little bits like that, almost look like a cave. Insane. And this is where the little building is at the bottom of the hill that we thought might have been a toilet or whatever for the people working here. Crazy history, folks. And then look, they've put this ridge of cement up here. Look, it must have been to make the water run down the side and not over the top. Which is a cool detail that we just about missed. Wow, folks. Let's go and take a look at this though, where the channel DJ is. Because it's a cool artefact of history right here. Check this out, folks. This is crazy. This is massive. See, do you think this was for a winch system?
I don't know,
Look at this, folks. It's absolutely huge. Been for mounting. There's been either something at this side of it.
I can't see anything.
Maybe a winch of some sort, or it could have been mounted here, aiming over here.
Yeah.
So let's have a look over here. See if there's any details that we've missed in line with this bracket. It is crazy, like the way... Oh, there's a metal drum or something, look, in the ground.
Yeah.
This has been a proper yard here, I would say. But that's been doing something, that. And this would have had a winch of some sort for getting the stone up the hill. Again, because it's such a steep quarry, it must have had some equipment for winching the stone up. And that's all I can think they would have needed a style like that for. It's like a guy rope mount. Just shows you all that history we just about missed. When we were over there standing on the pile of stones, I was going to end the video and then boom, like history. And it shows you that some of the rubble we saw at this far side in the beginning might have actually come from buildings there, because there was evidence of sinks and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, wow, we're at the other side of the quarry now, and just check it out. I was just seeing if there was any evidence on the land here from maybe a winch system or whatever, but it's nothing obvious. See, there is a hole here and there's a hole there, but there's nothing obvious on the surface. And even down here, you would think they would be winching not up a slopey end of the thing. And you would think if they'd been winching from here, it would be straight up. But see the way this slopes down, it is strange. It's like almost a natural slope, this. There's no marks from them drilling it or blasting it or anything like that. Just makes you think though, if you slid in there, you just keep going. Scary to see that, folks. Wow, what a place. It was definitely worth stopping. Again, those buildings were cool to see, but there's been so much more just hidden around here. A bit of quarry history, with a bit of wild landscape around what would have been a deep, deep quarry of its era, and a big quarry which looks like they were digging up granite. And yeah, I'm just taking one last scan of this area here so we didn't miss any history. But yeah, that wee shed looks crazy from different angles, like looks like a door into the hill. And it's hard to tell if some of this is like natural cutouts or if literally it's just been made by somebody, or it's hard to know, folks. So I just did the outro over there, folks, and I've just realised what this will be. Like before I ended the video, I was coming and taking a photograph here, and I just thought a lot of mines and quarries had a little room for storing like the dynamite, or like the cordite I think it is, which sets the dynamite off. And that's what this would have been here. And that's why it'll be a stone building, and it's probably the only one that's left, because a lot of the buildings wouldn't have been built so strong as this one. And I believe that'll be the reason here that it's got a thick steel. See that there, folks, the bottom of the door? It's almost like an inch thick steel plate, which is below there. So I'm thinking this would have been potentially the cordite storage room or dynamite storage room. And that makes sense, because every day they were blowing the rocks here off the rock face. So this would have been a shed that they would have kept it dry in. Kept it dry, but also kind of if it exploded, it was contained in one area. Right, folks, I think we've seen all the abandoned history around here, and it's been so interesting, so I'll end this one here. Goodbye for me, goodbye for the channel DJ, and we'll see you very soon with the next adventure.